Good morning. It's been a minute since I've vlogged, but I figured I would take you with me this weekend. I don't have a ton of stuff going on, but I teach Pilates today, and I think I'm gonna have a little reading day today. And then my fiance and I are going to a Christmas market tomorrow. So why not take you guys along? It's been a long time since I've vlogged, so I'm rusty, but bear with me. It's gonna be a fun weekend. Here is the little outfit of the day. It is minus 20 degrees Celsius outside today, so I will of course need to add some layers to this. I'm teaching one reformer class today and one mat class. And when I teach mat, I like to wear shorts because I demo a lot in mat classes. In reformer, I can't because I don't have my own reformer, but in mat, I can just pop on a mat or on the floor, wherever. So I'm moving around a lot, basically doing like half of the workout with the class and yelling at people. So it gets toasty in that hot room doing all of that, but it's good for my cardio. So shorts are the move, but layers, sweatpants, gonna find a little jacket to pop on over top too to stay warm because it is very cold out. I just finished teaching. I just got home. It was so much fun. I love Saturdays because I get to teach one reformer class and then one mat class. And the mat class is my favorite class to teach of all time. It's my mat strength class, and it's just such a good time every single week. Anyways, I had so much fun. It was absolutely freezing out, so props to everyone for actually coming. Because the roads are horrible today. Yeah, it was such a good time. I had everyone come out and tell me that it was really hard, which fair enough. I was doing like half of the workout, and half the time I was like walking around and checking everyone's form and talking, and I was still sweating my butt off. So sorry, not sorry to anyone who was there for that, but I had a good time. I messed up my cueing at the beginning, which I hate when that happens, but I'm human. It is what it is. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I freestyled that class a little bit, and then sometimes I get tripped up as to what I decide that I want to do for the class when I'm freestyling it on the spot. But anyways, it was still a great time. I think everyone really liked it, which is great news. And I am now going to have an everything shower, do my hair, because it's time. Every time I wash my hair, I first use this scalp sink from Biolage just to get my scalp nice and clean. I love it. I also feel like it helps prolong my clean hair and prevents it from getting oily super, super fast. So I go in with a little bit of that before I wash. And then I just use one of these bad boys to massage it into my scalp. And then I just let that sit on my head for like 10 minutes. And then I have an everything shower. I just let the dogs outside. They're playing around in the snow. They desperately want me to go outside and play fetch with them, but it is, like I said, minus 20 degrees out. So unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen. They're husky mixes. We suspect they're rescues, so we aren't 100% sure what breed they are, but you can tell that there's some husky in them, so they love being outside in the snow. but I do not. I'm from Vancouver, BC, or just outside of Vancouver, BC originally, so I'm not built for the cold. So the Alberta cold is a lot for me. So there will be no playing fetch outside for me today. So I'm gonna just let this sit in my hair for a little bit, have my everything shower, and then I think I'm gonna read today. I don't have a ton on the agenda. I should probably work on my Master's Defense PowerPoint presentation, but I really don't want to. So I am going to put that off until a weekday because I deserve a break. That's my game plan for the day, and I'll see you after my shower. While I'm here, I may as well show you guys my curly hair routine. First and foremost, my beautiful hair towel from the dollar store. I just get it like a little bit dry and kind of just towel it off to make sure it's not like dribbling everywhere. Then I kind of just redefine my part, nice wide tooth comb right down the middle. I'm not always very good at making it centered, but it is what it is. And I just give a little brush. Normally I just let my hair air dry and then like straighten it, but I am doing no heat November right now, so we are keeping it curly. Then I go in with the Pantene Miracle Rescue leave-in conditioner. Drugstore products here because I am a broke girl, and this also smells delicious. So once I have all of my leave-in in, I go in with the Cake Beauty Curl Friend Curl Cream. It's kind of like a texture between a curl and a gel. I don't know if you can tell. It kind of feels more gel-like than a standard like lotion. Anyways, I just rub it through my hands and go in with the prayer hands on either side. If I really want my curls to be defined, I will also go in with like a little gel and I'll just rub it between my hands. If I want to thin the gel out a little bit, I'll just add a bit of water to my hands as well to thin out the gel. I just do the same prayer hands on either side, but I don't need to go too crazy today because I don't have anything else going on today, so my hair doesn't really need to look that good. Once I have my curl cream, I go in with Kai, however it's pronounced, Silk Infusion oil. This stuff smells so good, and it is literally always at Winners or Marshalls, so I can always find it for like a good price. Rub it through my hands, and then I just kind of scrunch up through the ends and up into the root once less of the oil product is on my hands. And then there you have it. I just kind of let it air dry from there. If I am like in a rush and about to leave the house, then sometimes I'll diffuse it, but I absolutely hate blow drying my hair, so I avoid that at all costs. Anyways, that's my routine. It's nothing that crazy. I don't love leaving my hair curly, wavy, whatever you want to call it, but I'm trying to not fry my hair off as much anymore. If you are ever wondering what your Pilates instructor looks like when they're not at the studio, it is this. Those are indeed Shrek PJs. I have my reading set up, fully ready to go. I'm currently reading Daughter of No Worlds. I am 62% through. Chores took way longer than I expected them to, but I should have expected that. It is what it is though. So I have like 45 minutes to read before my fiance gets home. I was unsure about Daughter of No Worlds when I first started, and it was just about at the like 50-60% point where I finally like got hooked. I really love One Dark Window, and there's this element that was just introduced that is very similar to One Dark Window, or at least one of the elements of One Dark Window. So I am very excited to see how this unfolds. I will update you in a little bit, and in the meantime, let's read. did not get super far. I'm only at 68% now, but this book is picking up very fast. I feel like the first half was relatively slow-ish and it took me a bit to get into, but it's a new fantasy series. What should I expect? But as soon as it hit that like 50% point, it got very interesting very quickly. So if you're in the spot where you're like debating if you should continue or you don't know if you want to give it a shot or not, I urge you to at least get to like 60-70% and see how you like it, because I am intrigued. Very intrigued. Good morning. On today's agenda, I think my fiance and I are gonna go to a Christmas market this morning, and then I'm probably gonna work out, read a little bit, and then we are hosting his parents for dinner tonight. So a reasonably busy day, but it should be a fun day. So I'll take you along with me. But first I need to do my little no makeup. So I will show you what I use. It's also Sunday, which means I need to post my Sunday spill on my Instagram, and it's the last day of the month, so I need to make and send off my invoice to the Pilates studio I work at so I can get paid. Anyways, no makeup. Obviously start with a moisturized base, but my skin gets really oily, so I usually don't go crazy with moisturizer in the mornings unless my skin is feeling dry, but I do like to go in with a little bit of a glowy primer, especially in the winter when my skin is feeling crusty busty. And I've been really liking the look of this one, the iconic London Underglow primer. This one does need to be shaken quite a bit before putting it on your face, otherwise it separates, but I do quite like the way it looks. And it doesn't feel heavy on my skin, which I like as an oily girl, because I feel like some of the moisturizing ones can feel very like dense and thick. After that, I go in with concealer. The formula that I like the best is the Tower 28, and it also has been my best shade match so far out of all of the concealers that I like. This one is a little dark on me in the winter, but it is the lightest shade, I think. So Tower 28, if you're watching this, please make a lighter shade than this one, but it does the trick for what I need. I just apply it to the back of my hand to warm it up a little bit. And I take my concealer brush. This is a Morphe 133 concealer brush, and just dab the product onto the brush and then dab it onto any spots that I want to conceal. My forehead, I try to keep relatively free of any like base products for makeup, unless I have like a pimple or something I want to conceal, because I have very expressive eyebrows and a lot of forehead wrinkles, so makeup creases very, very badly on my forehead. Go into the other under eyes. I just dab the product on kind of directly onto that dark ring around my eyes, and I try to stay clear of that little crease under my eye and directly under my eye, because that's where I find I get creasing. Anything residual though, I will blend up a little bit just to make sure it looks cohesive. Once I have my concealer on, I go right into my cream bronzer. It is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in the shade Medium. There's like none left. I have another backup waiting, ready to go. But I just take my Morphe X Ariel, I don't even know what number this is, A24, and I just kind of dab my brush in the product, go in with the back of my hand again, soft little pat there to get any excess off and warm it up. And then I just pat kind of on the high points of my face, kind of where you would contour, but kind of where the sun would hit naturally. I try to keep it more towards the center of my face because again, that's where the sun would be hitting, but I take it a little bit back to the top of my cheekbone as well. And on the forehead, I go kind of right smack dab above the middle of my eyebrow and just kind of go like middle to upwards to the top of my forehead, because again, that's the high point of my face and that's where the sun would be hitting. And then I drag that up into my hairline. And then I just take a little bit of product, go on the underside of my nose and kind of that like nose crease and sides of the nose. Then I go in with my Rare Beauty blush in Happy. Again, I'm taking that onto the back of my hand. Then I take my cream brush and just kind of like buff it out on my hand. Smile a little bit to find the apple of my cheek and just pat the blush on. So I start in the center where my apple is and then I kind of diffuse upwards to the outside of my face. The excess on my hand and on the brush, I just take over the bridge of my nose. For powder, I bounce between a loose powder, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake in Cupcake, or Tower 28 like translucent setting powder, but I just ran out of my Tower 28 translucent setting powder, the pressed one. That's usually what I use on my day-to-day, and I use this for usually like more full face makeup, but like I said, I just ran out, so we'll be using her today. Just tap a little bit out into the lid. For this powder, I use my powder puff. Tap a little bit of the powder onto the puff, tap the excess off of my hand. Then I just go on the side of the nose and under the eye, that center of the forehead spot, onto the chin, and drag anything residual into my smile lines and onto the tippity top of my nose. And then if I want some extra pizzazz, I go in with the Hourglass Ambient Light Lighting Blush in Sublime Flush. And I just take this little cream shop, I think I got this from like Winners or something ages ago, blush brush, tap it in there. Again, quick dust off on the back of the hand and just dust over where I applied my cream blush. Here is where you have to trust the process. While I'm doing the rest of my makeup, I let the NYX IV Lip IV serum sit on my lips. This shade looks absolutely insane in the bottle, but it is the most beautiful stain when you wipe it off after like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I look insane, but we will not be leaving the house like this. We are just finishing the rest of my makeup and then I will wipe this off. For eyebrows, I have naturally very thick eyebrows, as you can see. So I don't fill them in at all. Throwback to like 2016 when I thought I was a makeup guru and I was filling these bad boys in every single day with like jet black Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. If you know, you know. All I use is a little bit of this Got to Be Glued, literally hair gel. I just put it in a little container to make it easier to fit into my makeup bag, and I take a spoolie and I literally just brush it through, and that is all I do for my brows. I take a little bit of this like grayish brownish taupey color. I literally just apply it like I was doing a baby winged eyeliner with this kind of like pencil tip-ish brush. Just like the babyest hint of a shadow there. Last but not least, mascara. I of course curl my lashes first and foremost. The only mascara that I've tried that has actually worked for me, because I have really oily eyelids, is the I Heart Extreme Waterproof Mascara. It stays the best I've ever tried out of any mascara, drugstore or high-end, and it just makes my lashes look like the most fluffy and beautiful. When I apply mascara, I focus on like the root and then I barely dust over the ends because I want them to look very fluffy and not clumpy. Take this off. Fiance is pushing me out of the bathroom, so bye. This will be my base outfit of the day, but obviously it is still freezing outside, so I will put something over this for going to the Christmas market, but I'm also working out later today at some point, so this will be the work outfit, and then layers for the market, and I'll change again after all of that. The barista is in the house, and he's making me coffee this morning. Something that my fiance and I put in our coffee every single morning is creatine. Obviously, it's been a very well-known supplement for all of the gym bros out there, but in the neuroscience community, there's been a lot of research showing its benefits for cognitive health, especially for shift workers, which is what my fiance is. We always try to have a scoop or a heaping scoop a day because for cognitive benefits, you're typically supposed to have more, or they've only really seen significant results in people who are consuming like more, like rather than the typical 5 grams a day, usually like 10 to 15 grams a day are consumed in those studies. We always try to have it. It's great for muscle growth, obviously, recovery, cognitive health, and women's health as well. There's a lot of research ongoing right now for perimenopausal women with creatine consumption. So super interesting. However, creatine consumption has been associated with negative effects for people with endometriosis. So if you have endo, speak to your healthcare provider before you are taking a boatload of creatine. Well, the Christmas market was a bust. It was all just a bunch of MLMs. So we are on the move to Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire. We just finished dinner. Logan's parents just left. Chef Logan did a great job with dinner. I think we are literally just going to watch Below Deck and maybe have hot chocolate and a cookie. And then we're literally going to bed because we are old people and we go to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and Logan works in the morning. So that's it. That's all for this vlog. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. Logan doesn't know what to do on camera. I will see you again next week. Farewell.